Good morning, coffee moaners. All rightish.
Happy New Year.
Can you try not to be this annoying? My ear is still ringing now. I want to say to you all rightish New Year. Because
what does that mean?
Happy New Year is really annoying me.
I'm so pleased you say that.
Happy New
It's
Year!
like the hashtag fuck off Fun Friday.
Yeah.
Fuck off, Happy.
Everyone's saying what an amazing year they've had, what an incredible year. Don't
you know
forget.
What? It was the worst year of my life.
No, but for other people, they might have agreed. But for a lot of people, like you could go onto Instagram and you could think everybody lives an incredible life. And I always...
My stomach is right now.
I look at them and I think, don't forget that people are posting the best moments, and those are moments, and if you fall into the sort of the dark hole of scrolling onto Happy New Year's of people like, what a year I had, you can end up feeling a bit shit.
I tell you who I was most intimidated by of everyone's reels across the festive period, where I looked at it and I felt not only half the man I was, but not even a quarter. I felt infinitesimally insignificantly pathetic. Was your friend Helen. I mean,
it was a great reel.
What a montage!
I know,
and it just made me feel.
But she does do a million things in 1 week.
No, I know. I felt deeply depressed.
I'll have to clip this and send this to you, Tits. I mean, yeah, your reel was a bit like, oh my god, she has a fantastic.
I mean, she has wings.
I know. She's so beautiful.
She's got neon flashing wings.
It was a little bit intimidating, Tits. But no, thank you. Yeah, thank you everybody who has wished us a happy New Year and a happy Christmas. I'm going to state it right here and now. I had a shit Christmas.
Well, let's unpack that in a little bit more detail.
No, and then if people want to put a few lines on what your Christmas period was like. But
before we do that, I do just want to say it's so lovely to see Faith Goodman. I haven't seen you comment at all across Vlogmas. I don't know whether it was maybe, but I have been worried about you. It's lovely to see you back in the room.
Oh, she's here.
Yeah, you're here. But thank you so much. Can I just say thank you so much for quite an unprecedented number of wonderful, thoughtful, kind, caring, supportive messages under Vlogmas. We it's an amplified version of what happens, insofar as we turn the camera on and we film it. You get us, warts and all, and Dina. Dina was sensational this Christmas. But you know what?
Lee.
Hi, Lee. Lee was a wondrous aspect of it all too. Betty and Teddy appeared. Nanny Di would have liked to have appeared a bit more, but she didn't. But I just wanted to say, it makes it so enjoyable knowing how much you guys are enjoying it.
We were reading through some of your comments, and as Lee always says to me, you've got the nicest followers. Your comments and the detailed comments, we can't answer. We can't begin to answer
Over
them.
1 million
but
views
please know
December.
That we do read them. We read them out to each other. We screenshot them and send them to each other, send them around the family, because it is lovely, because it is a lot of work, mostly for him, because the amount of editing he does. He's like, put his ass on that chair 3 hours a day, every day for Vlogmas, like seriously, and edited. And so I love it when you compliment all of the work that he does, because
well, also, I mean, I think what a lot of you have picked up on, which is really rewarding, and I think this year, because of the nature of the gingerbread house, but also because Dina was such a fabulous addition, and Lee, and it's become a kind of unexpected sitcom. I mean, when I'm editing it, I'm honestly sitting there, and I go to choose the music for certain bits and bobs. I'm in hysterics and I'm editing the bloody thing. You don't usually, normally you're having to wade through lots of shit to get to it.
It was really good fun this year. Well, it wasn't good fun, actually. It was awful.
It was horrendous.
I had a terrible time. Those fucking...
a million views across. And
that's amazing.
So thank you guys. It was just astonishing.
Million views. December. We are so chuffed. We are so chuffed. And because of that, we are going to be doing more vlogging.
We are. Nadia's been filming like an absolute psycho.
We're going to be doing weekly vlogs.
Yes.
As they happen.
So you're going to have historics that are going to land and like an enema, stuff that we've got, like the green figured owl that you loved, which had a lovely sequence in it with Nanny Di and Nadia in her hardcore porn. Do you remember hardcore porn?
No. Hardcore
porn. It was you unboxing in a sort of summery outfit. Yeah, you're getting all kind of saucy. Anyway.
Hands of me Bambies there too, and eat me those Bambies. But
then you are going to be getting that. Weekly Rushes is coming back this year. We're going to be talking about one of the stories that we're talking about in this live, actually, Blake Lively versus Justin Baldoni. But why was your Christmas so bad?
Because I was so ill. Because first of all, Maddie was really, really ill, and then I went down Christmas Day. And then I've only, like, even last night I was up coughing, wasn't I? 2 o'clock in the morning, I was
You
coughing.
have to leave the bed.
But I didn't leave my bed for
You were
a
ill.
week. I was really
I mean,
ill.
she was ill.
It was weird though, guys. It wasn't like, I didn't have like a big cough, or it was just my body just, Dina went, oh, well, you know what this is. And I said, guys, this is total body shutdown. I was like, oh, thanks, that's helpful. She's total body shutdown. And when she gives a diagnosis, Dina, it's so emphatic, isn't it?
Well, it's not only emphatic, it hurts.
It's like when Dad said, I think I have a kidney infection. She goes, he hasn't. I said, how do you know? She goes, because I've done his feet. And I said, what did his feet tell you? She goes, there was nothing around the kidney area. I was like, oh, okay. Dad's kidneys.
Yeah, but sometimes Dina's assessment of your health is like a double punch to the face.
But our girls, like if we say, I say, well, Dina said, they go, oh, Dina said, oh, all right, don't they? They gobble it up. Yeah. Dina says it's all right, or says it's not, then they'll go with it.
We live in terror.
But I hope you all had a lovely Christmas. I know many people will have been ill. Viral laryngitis and chest infection wiped me out too, says Kaz Rowley.
Wow.
I mean, we do every year have these illnesses, don't we? And every year people are like, I can't believe it, everyone's been ill. I did say to Maddie the weekend before, don't go out this weekend. I just feel you're going to get really ill. She did for a whole of her birthday.
Let me just share this thought here, which is a lovely one. Christian Johnson, I tuned into various Vlogmas channels and yours was by far the best. Storyline and the content was fabulous. Some aspire and just come nowhere near your content. It's why you have to follow me. That's very kind of you. Thank you. We do put a lot. When you hear Nadia do a live on Instagram and you hear me going, don't show, it's not about being difficult. It's about maintaining the narrative arc.
Oh,
and I think everyone has enjoyed that.
I'm going to have to do something.
Oh, for an actress, you can be dense sometimes, Nads. Dense. I'm just going to say it. I'm just laying it on the table.
Get it off the table because it might get cut off.
She put some foundation on me today.
No, I didn't. I flicked a little bit of bronzer because he looked like death warmed up.
Yeah.
And he was like, what? When everyone that goes on television, every man, every politician, every actor, everybody has a little bit of this before they go on. So I just went like that. But I don't think there was much on my brush, to be fair. Anyway. Right, so we are going to be talking about the USA is under attack in so many different ways. And yeah, true horror stories going on over there in lots of different ways. The 4 signs, if you're doing dry January, there are 4 signs if you are wondering whether you're an alcoholic, and maybe you want some tips from a man who hasn't had a drink for 20 years and you're not having them for 28 days. And also a bit of a shocking thing about alcohol, which might help you not pick up.
Right. Is anyone here doing dry January? Just whilst we're here, just give us an answer. If you are, is anyone doing dry January? Because
yeah, well, that comes through. And Lively versus Baldoni. Now, this is a big showbiz story that many of you may not have heard about, but it's going to be, we think, it's going to be, it could possibly be massive. So we thought we'd just let you know. Because I said to Mark, what is this? I keep seeing bits and pieces about this. And he went, no, this is going to be.
Well, it's shaping up to be every bit potentially not as big as Amber Heard and Johnny Depp because they're not in a relationship.
But it has a certain feeling of it.
As a certain sort of.
But before all of that, does anybody wake up feeling achy?
Yeah, I do every day.
Because this one has been driving me mad with his aches.
Right.
Now, he's brilliant at building his muscles. Show them your muscles.
No.
But he's not very good at stretching them. I'm good at stretching my muscles, but I'm not very good at building them.
Right.
Though I try. Yeah. Yoga is a weight bearing exercise. It's actually actually do the side plank that they do on yoga. No, don't because you hurt yourself. No, I'm going to give you
the side plank.
I'm going to give you.
I do the side plank all the time. I do a side plank.
No, I wasn't going to say that. It's the other one that you can't do. It's really funny.
Someone just said, I'm doing dry January. I start tomorrow.
Okay.
I like that. Yeah, just wait another day. That's cool.
That's good because if you start
it doesn't mean. Look, the thing about these dates thing. You always look to fudge the details. If you don't do it, you're not doing it.
Yeah, like you might not know this. In dry January, they give 2 passes.
That's ridiculous.
In case somebody has a wedding.
Oh, fuck off.
But it is actually just goes to show that is a problem.
So we have such a profound societal dependency on a substance. We have to put a caveat in to our one vain attempt
Otherwise,
to
people
not
won't
drink in
do
a
it.
month.
2 passes.
Not that it's just like.
It used to be anyway. If that's not the same, do correct me. Right. Okay. So these are some yoga poses for if you're waking up in the morning and feeling a bit stiff and a bit, Mark, That's not funny.
Well,
Read some more things out
You,
while I
you
just
laid
try
it on
and
the
find this
table
bloody
earlier.
thing.
Stuart G says, I ache constantly as I have osteoarthritis. It's crap. Ask, matey, and you're going to be 50 this year too. So congratulations, but apologies for the achiness.
God, you've got osteoarthritis. Have any of you seen this treatment with stinging nettles for arthritis?
No.
I fell into a wormhole yesterday
Clearly.
of people rolling in stinging nettles. I mean,
Lee
it's
Peart's
a herbal.
in the room. Lee Peart, I'm doing a slightly damp January.
Of course you bloody are. Yeah. Are you at Loose tomorrow? Am I
Own it.
Please say you're at Loose tomorrow, Lee. Please.
Own
Please.
It.
Okay,
Faith
so
Goodman, did you see Sir Anthony Hopkins' video about him stopping alcohol 49 years ago? Remarkable, eh?
49 years ago. No,
wow.
but we should watch that.
Wow.
So first of all, Mark, go into child's pose. Hang on, I've got my yoga mat for you. So this is something really nice to do in bed, guys. Actually, it's nice.
Could you have not done that quite so horrendously?
It's nice to do before you go to bed as well, not just when you wake up in the morning. But so there you are. You're lying in bed. You're a bit achy. You're in a bit. Can you see me there?
No, not really.
Move the chair.
I'm trying.
Right.
Yeah, you look very uncomfortable.
You can just literally just roll over.
Yes.
Go. You know, so you're on your knees.
Yes.
And you. Oh my God, the joy of that. But to think that we don't do this.
Yes.
When we can do this. And you can do that at any time of day and just like stretch out your back. You know,
you were seen on Insta yesterday with your ass in the air. Is this a thing this year?
Oh, shut up.
What's going on?
Right, come on, try that one. That's the child's pose,
Yeah, the child's pose.
Child's pose. Do that. Space your knees wide enough apart that you can fit your torso into them. Keep your buttocks against or close to your heels. Let your upper body get heavy.
Nice.
Right, so can you put your bum down by any chance?
No.
Spread your legs a bit.
I have.
Right, and your feet.
I can't.
Your feet. Open your feet. Right, now go back.
Yeah.
Go further back.
I am.
Mark, you're not back.
I can't go further.
All right, stretch your arms out more. Can you feel that lengthening
It's not helping.
out?
I've got my glasses.
Is that nice lengthening?
Oh, hello. That hurts.
Lengthening out your spine. Let all the bits in between your spine just breathe. I mean, if you don't want to do that, you can do it here against the table.
I'm stuck.
Or like this, guys. In the middle of the day.
Sorry if you're listening on podcast.
In the middle of the day, do this. Mark, get up and do this one now.
I can see you doing that.
Mark, get up and do this one.
I can't get up.
They can see me,
I
and they
can't
can
get
see
up.
you. Well, roll back slowly.
Oh,
Roll back slowly.
right.
Right. Now, do that here, like this. Flatten out your back. You can do it with bent legs to begin with, and then you can stretch out your legs.
Yeah, okay.
Oh my God, it's good. To think we can do that for free and we don't do it.
I know. I mean, what an indulgence.
So try and flatten that. So pull up your
It's very hard to
abdomen.
flatten my back because I've got this.
Oh my God, you've got a hump, Mark.
Don't say that.
Mark, you've got a hump.
I know. What's that hump? What do you mean I've got a hump?
Where has that hump come from?
It's come back.
Mark,
What hump?
you've got a hump. Here. Oh my God. Okay, get up. Don't do that because you're showing everyone your hump. Stand up, stand up.
What do you mean I'm showing my hump?
Right, then the cat cow.
Hang on.
So when you
Now I'm worried I've got a hump.
that's one you can do in the middle of the day, right?
I must
But
admit.
so you've rolled out of bed and you're in bed.
Hi guys, welcome to
You're
2025.
in bed and you've done your child's pose, and then just come up really slowly, right? Hands. You want your weight sort of over your hands.
Yes.
Now people tend to go. You've got to do it slowly, so really slowly, so you're not pulling out. Oh my God! And then look up, but don't do it as far as you can to begin with. You've got to warm up your spine a little bit. It's called the cat cow. Oh my God! And that stretches out your shoulders. Do that one.
I don't want to. You've hump shamed me.
Hopefully you'll do more stretching so you can do something about this hump. Right, so weight mostly over your, so off you go. So just not too far because you're stretched. Just warm up your spine first, low. Yeah. Head a bit up when you go down. Yeah. Does that feel nice?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the cat cow. And then the last one, then you can come up, get off, off your bed. And you can do the downward dog.
Oh, we're still in bed at this point, are we?
Or you do it down. It's a downward dog. You can just start with your legs bent like that.
Yes. Oh, sorry, I was just in the way.
Oh my God, the spine.
Sorry,
Mark!
there's a cup of coffee there.
Mark,
Careful.
get it off!
No, careful, it's going to spill.
Mark!
It's going to spill.
Mark! Get it off. So just do it like this with bent legs.
Oh, downward dog.
Stretch out your spine.
A downward dog.
Because then, you know, that gets all the like fluid going out in your spine. Oh, he's got your walking boots on my yoga mat.
Like that.
Oh my God, I've only just seen that.
And I'll tell you, there's this press up that we have to do as well.
No, we're not
Where you
doing
do that.
Joe Wicks. We're stretching. Bend your legs a bit and then really pull up.
Yeah, can you push my
Pull
hand
up.
back?
Anyway, my yoga teacher is giving a free Zoom yoga lesson tomorrow. I wish I could do it, but I'm at Loose Women.
I am worried about my hump.
9:30 till 10:30. Go to Rachel at Rachel Spain Yoga on Instagram. For all our followers and subs, you can have a free yoga lesson.
What can I do about my hump?
Shut up now.
I know, I
it's boring.
noticed it whilst
We're
I was
not
doing
going
the
to talk about your.
decorations.
We are not going to.
You brought it into the room.
Right, but we're not going to talk about your hump all the way through this show. That's the last time you mention your hump.
Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. Jackie Villino. Now Mark's got a complex about his hump.
Well,
Just
you
to
know what
start
you need to do? More yoga, and then you won't have a hump
Oh, right.
because your hump will grow and grow.
Oh.
Hump day.
Humpty
Anyway.
Dumpty had a great fall.
Anyway,
Okay.
posture mark exactly.
Yes. So what are we talking about? Let's go through some of our headlines.
What
shall
do you let somebody choose? What do you with first person we say? You choose what we're going to talk about first. First person you see, Mark.
You don't, Mark, says Carol Nace, but thank you.
They're
Carol.
choosing the agenda.
Thank you. Do you iron Mark's shirts on a wok, Nadia?
I do not.
She doesn't
I
iron.
I don't iron anything.
What do you mean on a wok? Does she mean because of the hump?
Yeah.
Very funny. The fog. Traitors. says
Traitors
Faith.
first.
Oh no, Reese says USA. The first comment was USA.
Okay, USA, and then we'll do traitors.
Mark's rap name, says Dawn Decker. Mark the Dromedary Advocacy. All right, that's a camel. Okay, so obviously USA under attack. This is the tragic incident that's happened in New Orleans. The guy who drove a car down the French district, or down one of the main roads in the French district in New Orleans, killing at the moment, it's 15 people have been killed. He was fully, tooled up. He was driving, he was shooting out the window. Subsequently, they discovered there were sort of pipe bombs. He was shot. But they're also now beginning to believe there's a connection between this clear act of terrorism. Anything that terrorizes the public is terrorism. A clear connection between, or this appears to be a connection between this and then an explosion that happened in a Tesla Cybertruck outside the Donald Trump Hotel in Las Vegas. It would appear that both of the bombers, or both of the perpetrators, were former US military personnel. Contrary to what I think some of the press isn't quite saying this, but you can feel there's a febrile sort of sense out there that, the name of the perpetrator sounds very Muslim and Islamic. Shamsud Din Jabbar, who's the guy who drove the truck into a crowd that killed 15 people, including 35 others injured in New Orleans. The chap, they've identified the name of the chap who blew up the car, the Cybertruck in Las Vegas. He's not Islamic, nor does he have a Muslim name. And the feeling, given that Trump has come out saying, once again, proof that foreigners are a danger to this country, etc., as far as I understand it, the guy in New Orleans he's an American. He was born in America. He is American.
Well, that is going out now as him giving misinformation again, Trump. Because it was the first thing he said, wasn't it? It was
absolutely. So I think he meant misinformation on him being American.
No, that he was because he was.
So he's American, and he's a former military personnel.
10 years in the military.
Yeah, 10 years in the military.
Actually, we've got video of him there, haven't we?
No, I didn't pull the video in the end because it was it went on.
Okay.
But here's an image of him. This is an image on the left here of him actually delivering a piece of camera as a real estate agent.
God, and you just
There's
wouldn't
footage of him
think-
on the right working
and
as
he's
an
like,
administrative individual.
I'll be your great realtor. I'll sell your property. He would never think in a million years.
Born and bred in Texas, absolutely.
Yeah, born and bred Texas.
These are other images of Shamsuddin Jabbar. This is the vehicle after the
So
event.
at the moment, they don't know whether there is a connect. They're looking, but they've said they don't. There's nothing as yet.
No, but it looks like they were both in the same sort of regiment or department or kind of, So they worked closely, not necessarily at the same time.
Yeah.
They both used the same app for their vehicle hire.
Oh.
It feels a little bit kind of too coincidental.
But there can be massive coincidences.
Absolutely.
One thing's for sure is we will be.
This is the image of the other guy. Obviously, this isn't what he was wearing when he sort of took the Tesla truck in, but this is an image of him in the army. And of course, he ignited. This is the vehicle that went up in flames in Las Vegas. Now, under attack. Now, the terrible thing about all of this is that innocent people have been killed.
In a terrifying way. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
And
Absolutely
much is being made,
horrific.
understandably, of there being an ISIS or IS flag attached to the vehicle that drove through New Orleans. And it's weird with this one. I was communicating with Reese about this last night. It's curious because, of course, it's no surprise that this is going to absolutely speak to the fear and the idea that a jihad is out, that Islamic terrorism is everywhere, that Muslims want the end of the West and everything. It's very hard to ever see anything like this and separate it from the awfulness of what's going on in Gaza. And I'm just feeling and already sensing that given the name of this guy and the color of his skin, and given the fact that there was an ISIS flag there, that the media and certainly the governments and the leaders like Trump and what have you have a vested interest in muddying the waters around Muslims so that the mainstream media and the mainstream public end up just thinking, oh, they're all of the same thing and they're all a threat to us and they're all dangerous. Whereas this could equally be a marauding nutter who attached his kind of action to an ISIS flag, whereas the other guy in Las Vegas had no ISIS flag at all.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
But also like when school shooters go in and they're just appear to be an ordinary person that was working in an ordinary place that sometimes is ex-military. And I mean, how many children is it a year that are shot in America in their schools? Every school you have to have training from like primary school on what to do if somebody comes in and shoot. I mean, it's like Maddie said, what a strange country, Mum. It is such a strange country. The relationship with guns and with, but there is no doubt this was a terror attack by a terrorist because it is to incite terror. That's the meaning of terror.
Yeah.
Terrorist. But I look at the way things are reported. And it's quite right, this report is this way, but I do feel, why aren't there similar kind of reports and front pages about the horrors of the Muslims that are being murdered in Gaza? And I just can't help but put those two things and look at the way that possibly the press want us to just think in one way.
Well,
you know what I mean? I mean, 5 babies have frozen to death this week that we know of so far in Gaza in a tent, because no tents are allowed through. So everything is a makeshift tent. It's being swept away. And it's just heartbreaking. Sky News did a title of Baby Killed by Neglect as Father Mourns. You know, you can't help but look at the different way that we are delivered information. And this is just all bad, and it is bad. And I'll say that a million times. It's a terror attack, 100 people killed, horrific. I can't imagine how terrifying that must be. But 15 people. But I just wish that sometimes when Muslims are being murdered, the same attention could be given. When children are being frozen to death, they're frozen to death without food and without water and without shelter. that our news channels could look at the way that what headlines they use. Killed by neglect. By neglect of whom? By whom? You know, that would never happen to a non-Muslim person. That headline by Sky News would not have happened. I'm telling you. So because of this new awakeness that so many of us have, everything that I'm now fed, I just have to look at 20 other things at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, and I think it's
scary.
really important. You've said it quite clearly. I think it's important to say there's nothing to have any doubt about with this. You know, 15 people have died, countless injured.
Horrific.
It's an atrocity. But I think you're absolutely right that there is a feverish excitement to get a Muslim face on the front pages of every paper when it's an atrocity committed by a Muslim face. But there is zero interest or compulsion to put any Muslim faces or the faces of the perpetrators of aggressions against Muslims. And it's not to say that there's an equivalence to be drawn here. This is the news story today. This has only just happened, and this is the priority. A little bit like around October the 7th, when Israel had a automatic response of self-defense to the attack. It's then what happened.
To the horrendous terror attack on that day.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And it's about what happens after that. It's about proportionality. And what unfortunately does seem to happen with things like this now. Someone, Nicky Bull, you said when you saw his name, your heart sank. So did mine. My heart sank because you know
it was going to fire
that
up.
the fabric and the atmosphere created by the likes of Trump and most of our governments at the moment, even the likes of Starmer, etc., they're doing nothing to kind of fight this kind of this environment and climate of anti-Muslim Islamophobic sensibility.
I mean, Mark and I have had to change our profile picture if you've seen us on Instagram, to a doctor's face to because his face is not on the front pages of the newspaper. This is an extraordinary doctor, extraordinarily brave, who refused to leave his patients. He's been kidnapped, taken to, so far the rumours are, the worst prison. It's basically like the Abu Ghraib of Israel. And it doesn't make front page news. We know that there's reports coming out of the prison that he has been stripped, that he has been beaten. And why? You know, and why is it okay for Sky to call a baby killed with neglect? And then it feels... I don't know. It feels so
it feels prejudiced. It feels prejudiced. But I tell you what, there's a deeper and more profound problem here. Is I think many of these outlets, like Sky News, will look at that. The endemic Islamophobia and anti-Arab, anti-Muslim sentiment is so baked in.
They don't even
the
see
vast
it.
majority of people who would consider themselves to be very liberal don't see they're enacting it. Talk about white privilege around Black Lives Don't Matter. We are going through something entirely equivalent.
Black Lives Matter, not Don't Matter.
Black Lives Matter.
You said Black Lives Don't Matter.
Well, I'm sure we'd agree that Black Lives haven't mattered for too long. But you know, why isn't there an equivalence? Why isn't an equivalent being implemented? I just quickly want to just.
Why isn't it just as horrific if 5 babies freeze to death? As 5 Muslim babies freeze to death as it would be for 5 Christian babies that freeze to death. Why is it not the same thing?
Sharon Carter, what was the name of the other guy? I do have the name of the guy who blew up the car in Las Vegas. The name of the other guy is US Army veteran Matthew Livelsberger. He's been named as by law enforcement sources as the suspect behind the Las Vegas attack.
It's not confirmed that there's a connection, but there's a lot of.
But it's not been confirmed that there's a connection between the two men. But at the moment, the two men are former US military personnel.
And nobody knows his name.
Yeah, one has a definitively, you could say, Islamic Muslim name. The other one has, you could, for want of a better argument, say, has a clearly Jewish name. I mean, what can one read into any of these things? And it's interesting that, it'll be interesting to see how the likes of Trump manage this, given that essentially what's happened is an atrocity has been committed by a man who's an American. And not only an American, but an American, in American terms, patriot and veteran. These are ticking all the boxes of what makes a great American to Trump. And then add on top of that, yes, admittedly, he had an IS flag. But doesn't the world become deeply confusing when 2 minutes ago or 2 weeks ago, we were being told to forgive ISIS, everything they've done, because of the guy who's come into Syria? Maybe maybe we could release them.
Downgrading Al-Qaeda to a non-terrorist organization now because it's handy for the West. to have them in Syria.
I do sometimes wonder, just finally on this, for me, I don't know if you find this, sometimes it's getting so
confusing.
All of the kind of truths are being shattered day after day. All of the consistencies are being removed. That it makes such a mockery that I don't think there's going to be any sense left in anything. It's like, who's doing what to who anymore?
The only thing I know, whether you're white, brown or black, whether your baby is white, brown or black, they are each as valuable as the next. Whether you are Christian, Catholic, Jewish, Alawite, as I can never get that one, whatever you are, every single life has loved ones, has a history, and that to me is not. I don't feel that that's what we are shown. I don't think we have that respect for every human. We don't. The hierarchy is so clear. But there we go. But Trump has made an absolute idiot of himself by immediately saying he's an immigrant when he's not, when he's born and bred in Texas. And he keeps making a bit of a tit of himself at the moment, as per usual.
But this will strengthen his arm, though, because he wants to remove the rights of Americans who are second generation as well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You don't have an automatic right to kind of
No, the parents of. So if his parents didn't have the visa at the time, they wouldn't be. But if you're born there, you
is he? I thought he was trying to also hit the people who were born to parents that weren't.
Or maybe.
Just because I can't get rid of this image, I'm going to share it with you.
So wonderful.
For those of you listening, you'll have to come over to YouTube to wonder what the hell I've just shown you. But my God, it's quite something. Okay,
just keep it running.
Yeah. Should we talk about the traitors?
Well, no, we were going to just say what about Trump being such a wally?
I mean, let's have another look
because
at
he's
him
clearly being wound up by Elon Musk, and there is infighting within MAGA, and we've got two clips
magma,
here.
as we used to call it.
Yeah, have we got the clip of the woman calling him?
No, I've got the clip of Trump.
Oh, I've got it on here. I'll show it to you.
Can I play this?
There's
clip
more
of Trump?
and more. I've got it on here.
I've got the clip of Trump. Shall I play that first?
No, because I want it.
For it?
No, we've got it. I've got it here.
Oh, right.
Because this is better that it comes first. Because more and more these days. Oh no, the one with the woman saying.
Yeah, you had it.
No,
it's just there. I just saw it.
No, you're looking at the wrong one. This is the one. Okay, go on.
1,000 units. It's a lot. And they flooded it with Starlink, and it was so good. It saved a lot of lives, so we want to thank him. But no, he's not going to be president, that I can tell you.
Yeah.
And I'm safe. You know why? He can't be. He wasn't born in this country.
He's like a 5-year-old.
The way he laughs
this is why he's getting crosser. Is this is sort of thing that's going on?
This is the idea that people are suggesting that really Musk is going to be president.
That Musk is playing here. I mean, who is in charge, do you view, in terms of who you have to negotiate with?
That's a great question. I don't have the answers right now.
I think that the narrative is going to be driven by President-elect Musk. Trump.
Elon Musk.
That was a purposeful mistake.
No, it wasn't. She's a magma.
Is she?
Or a MAGA.
I thought it sounded too contrived.
No, but there's more and more of this. And then he pushed that bill through and it got passed. And he put out 100 tweets to get this bill. He's getting pissed off. But those that are in the know, we follow the Young Turks YouTube channel. You've got to follow it in America. And they're just so great on all of this. They say he is in a nightmare, Trump, because you cannot steal the spotlight from Trump. It's just the most unbearable thing for him. But he also loves money, and he loves money so much. And now, because it's not funding the electoral race, it can go straight into his bank account. So literally, he can have Musk just going, and he can't resist that. But it will be very difficult for him because he's very cross about him getting.
I'm going to be a bit contrarian with this. I think I hate to say it, I think it's the Democrat-leaning media wishing this to be the case with Trump and Musk much more than.
But have you seen Steve Bannon having a go at Musk?
Well,
he's
but Steve Bannon, I think Trump and Steve Bannon have fallen out too.
Yeah, but he's got a lot of followers from MAGA.
I think we are at the cusp. Obviously, he's about to be kind of what's it called, sworn in, isn't it, in about 10 days. I mean, the thing I think that's different, he knows he can't run again unless he changes something profound in the Constitution or something happens that means that he changes the Constitution. I think he will also be thinking in terms of what is his legacy beyond himself if he can't run again and doesn't run again. I don't think we're going to get the same Trump. I think we're all trying to kind of predicting the same irrationality. And I think he's everything about just the 2 months since he won the election before coming in. I think he's being much more strategic. I think he's being counseled or controlled by whoever, maybe that woman, the strange woman with the extremely concrete-like kind of suburban hairstyle. I think something different is afoot. I think he may be seeing his last position or his last 4 years in power as laying the groundwork for the next stages of America. I genuinely don't think we're going to have the same. Yes, when he opens his mouth and when he talks, you get moments like this.
Not gonna be president, that I can.
He's not going to be president. I mean, he is a child. He is an enormous toddler. But I don't necessarily believe. I don't buy into the Trump
100%. 100%.
Mm,
Oh yeah.
I don't.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I hope it does fall apart, but I just.
Too many people that know him well. The other guy that we follow on Bulwark, the one who was married to Kellyanne, the lawyer, he says exactly the same thing. And these are people that work really closely with Trump, and he's got a script in the way that he works.
Yeah.
If you get too much attention, it's weird how silent Vance has gone.
Yeah, I also think relative to what we know of Trump, I think it's been astonishing how silent he's been in the run-up since winning the election.
Yeah, because it's been Musk.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Narcissistic showdown, says Dawn Decker. Let's get ready to rumble.
Yeah.
Who's this? Claudia Winkleman.
I was so annoyed. This lot spent about 10 minutes in the first bit of the show talking about a bloody fringe again.
Well, I do find her fringe really odd.
And it's the same conversation every time.
I only think, God, it must be difficult to see past it. That's all.
Oh, no, don't start.
I just don't know. Has she talked about it ever?
Yes, because everyone asks her about
what did
her
she say?
fringe. Oh, I don't know. She had no mirrors when she was a child or something.
But now she's got mirrors. It doesn't change anything.
I don't know. I think it's because she's shy, if I remember rightly.
God, strange.
So how many people are watching Traitors?
Yeah, Faith Goodman's so pleased it's back. Already watched the second episode. I think those three got off to... Yeah, on that, we have watched the first 2 episodes. So if you're watching it on a linear fashion, like my mum probably is, then we may say something that could spoil it. We'll try not to. Yeah, hate the fringe, says Saab Turbo. I'm not fringe shaming. I just genuinely am concerned for her ability to see.
I'm captivated by how shiny her hair is.
It's astonishing.
It's like ridiculously shiny.
But she does
Has anyone ever in the whole world
doesn't she?
ever had shinier hair
than
her?
Do they spend time? I mean, you'd know this, being a presenter and sitting in makeup in studios. Will they spend a lot of time combing that fringe down and into shape?
No, she'll just have a very excellent blow dry and it won't need to be combed again.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Her budget for her clothes apparently is never ending.
Is it really?
She literally can.
I love the poncho she was wearing.
The poncho.
I love the poncho she was wearing. It was very.
Do you like it when she wears high boots and
No.
stomps around?
No.
Is she sexy?
The fringe puts me off.
Well, last year you fancied her.
I liked her tartan jumper.
No, last year you fancied her because you said you couldn't work out why.
No, why was it?
And it was because her fringe was shorter so you could see her eyes.
Yeah, she's got lovely eyes. I think it's such a shame. If it were blocking one of
every
her
episode
assets.
we have this whole conversation. I think she's stunning and I love all her outfits, and not that I would want to wear them, but I think she's styled brilliantly. I think the whole thing is done.
Camp.
It's so perfect. It's so camp. It's just brilliant.
Did you watch the American one? I did quite enjoy.
Yeah, I don't know why we left it halfway through.
No, but what's the name of the Scottish actor who did? He was very good.
I love him.
I was reading an interview with what's her name again? Claudia Winkleman. And she was talking about how possessive she is of the house, because of course they use the same house in the American series. And
it must be weird.
And she was saying she literally can't watch the American version
because
she feels like, and she says there's a different energy. And she's got really worried. She's had sleepless nights worrying that the Brits won't like her version as much as they like.
Well, that's what I mean. I think she's quite shy, and I think that's where the fringe.
So
comes
what
from.
You're saying is that by the end of this series, if the viewing figures go down, her fringe is going to be down to her chin.
But I think the thing is, this show, she's always worked and she's always been successful.
Alan Cummings, thanks,
but this show has completely taken her to another level. And with that, if you're not an egomaniac, always comes insecurity, doesn't it? It's like my dad says, only a few should sit on the spike of success. And that's because it does start to feel like a spike for people, I think, where they're just like, God, what if I lose all this? What if somebody comes in and they're like, what if the understudy is better than me? So I like that she shares that. I like that about her.
The one part of it all that I do find slightly eggy and annoying is and as having worked in TV, it's the same. It's this fraudulent notion that somehow she's inviting them, she's doing it, and it's her house.
Yeah, but that's TV.
No, I know, but
What's
when
wrong with you?
when I hear it, I just go, oh, for fuck's sake,
Yeah,
she
but-
hasn't actually done it. She
shut
swans
up.
off to the 5-star hotel, and all the fucking production crew do all the
Oh,
work.
shut up. Right, carry
Okay.
on.
So yeah, so are you enjoying it? Who's your favourite?
I am enjoying it. I had a bit of a flurry. I had to do some Instagramming posts as a bit of an emergency last night, so I missed the beginning, which is a bit annoying.
I think we're allowed to say, listen, Linda, aren't we?
Listen, Linda. So yeah, it's going to be great.
Say traitor.
It's going to be great, traitor.
Because that's what gave her away.
Traitors.
I mean, if you can't be got when you turn your head that obviously to Claudia Winkleman saying traitor, then it says nothing for the faithfuls. I follow a couple on YouTube, says Faith, that got married in the castle. It's the same, so not special props.
Oh, it would look just like that, did it?
Yeah. K1, oh my God, Mark, you've got a hump. Yeah.
You know the bit that I get a bit annoyed at? I get a bit bored. Is when they all come in after breakfast. It takes too long. Who is it? Oh no, who is it? It's just get them all in.
Don't you find the door really awkward?
It's just
it's
awkward.
A really awkward.
They can't quite get round it.
I find it myself. I notice all of us do it. As they open the door, we all leave.
Yeah.
To look around the door.
Actually, I'm going to text my friend Dickie, who's a really good friend, is the producer, and say, "Can you do something about the door?"
Well, but in a weird way, the awkwardness of the door does mean the entire nation leans to the left to look round it. So maybe it's quite effective.
Such a good point. Maybe that's why I get a bit irritated, is because of the door. Where is the door?
It's towards the end of the table, and everyone's kind of like looking like that.
Is it because they want a bit of delay? Because
they've got to get. They're trying to hold.
It's annoying.
They don't want visibility through the door. So
They've got to cheat it.
Yeah. The
But
thing
it
is,
just
though, we've
takes
guessed.
too long.
The only problem I've had with the episode so far is we've totally guessed immediately who they were going to get and got out. The traitors. We knew. We both knew.
I didn't.
But well, we did. And that's frustrating. I hope the faithfuls get a bit stronger. But anyway, Linda. Listen, Linda.
Listen, Linda. Linda is not doing well.
No.
Linda is so obvious when she's lying. She's very sweet.
She's very sweet and very funny. But it wouldn't be amazing if she cruises to the end of this.
I like the main traitor. Look, I'm already calling her the main traitor because she's so bossy.
Yeah,
I love it
annoys
though,
me.
because people will not tolerate bossy women. She's
No,
a bossy.
that so annoys
she's
me when
bossy.
other women say that. I find
I
her
like her.
annoying, and you very quickly last night you sought to shut me up by saying that's because she's a strong woman. No, it's not because she's a strong.
No, I said
woman.
because she's a bossy woman.
It's not even because she's a bossy woman. I don't like her style of. You're a bossy woman, but I like you. I don't like her style
Actually, you
of.
gave me this. You
I don't
do more
like
than
her
like me.
style of bossiness. It doesn't mean that
I
can't
get it.
deal with a woman.
I get it.
It's annoys that.
Can you not deal with a woman?
I can deal with women, ish. I haven't seen Traitors yet. Maybe I will give it a go.
Oh, get into it.
Get past how high camp it is, because it is high camp.
It is great.
Yeah.
Right.
Finally, Blake Lively.
We're very late.
Yeah, we're very
but
late.
We need to do. I'll just let Mark just fill you in on this story because it is going to become a showbiz
Anyone
story. So I'm going to
seen
just shut up.
It Ends With Us? That's the title of the film, isn't it? I saw it in the end because of the whole story surrounding Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively. And they starred in a film, Netflix film, It Ends With Us, based on a book, which is it's a very curious film in that it's pitched as a rom-com-ish. It's very light and frothy, but it actually deals with the very serious subject of domestic violence. When I saw the film, I did a review. I was actually quite charmed by it. I was surprised. I thought it was an incredibly, surprisingly effective mainstream film about how domestic violence can happen within the most sort of Instagram perfect of places.
And you were really blown away by the passion of the first.
Now, I'm not for a minute suggesting this is the case, but what tipped me over into thinking, oh, okay, this is interesting, was the strength of the chemistry, bizarrely, given the fallout, between Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds' wife as well as the star, and Justin Baldoni, the director and actor of the film. The first scene, I don't know if anyone else has seen it. Wow. I mean, there was a sizzle at work there.
Because I remember when you came back, you went, God, it was electric.
Yeah, not like
Simona, they had zero chemistry.
Not at the beginning, they didn't. Oh
you
my
said
God.
It goes on that they didn't.
Yeah. No. So obviously, now something. I'd love to know the order in which they filmed the film, because I thought that first scene, she played it fantastically. He played it. It was a brilliantly shared performance of deep intimacy, and because it was so strong, I bought into so many of the stupidities that were in the rest of the film. Blake Lively is female. She's Ryan Reynolds' wife as well. She's been in a few films. She's been in a couple of series. She was in that. What was that?
Is that one with the shark?
Shallows. The Shallows. Yeah. And so basically, it's all kicked off. So what's
all
happened?
Just all American, Californian looking kind of.
Now, what's happened? Lawsuits are flying every which way. It's a he said, she said. It became apparent in the red carpet and the promotion for the film that there had been a big falling out between Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively,
and it was going crazy on TikTok and
Gossip
all of that,
Girl,
and all kinds of gossip and rumor and insinuation. The girls kept coming to us and talking about it. So we don't know what any of this is. We don't know what the truth is, you know. So
now the suggestion is that she challenged Justin Baldoni, the director, actor, and the rest of the production team. She's brought charges against them. She's accusing them of sexual harassment, sexual inappropriateness, on set, in conversations, talking about genitalia, talking about porn, so she's accused them of all sorts of kind of, when I say micro misdemeanors, there hasn't been rape, there hasn't been sexual assault, but there's been an inappropriateness. So she's accused them of that, the producers and the director.
And where has she accused them of that? Is that out in public?
Yeah, that's a federal court. I think it's a civil case. So she's accused them, and she's also accused them of generating a smear campaign, which I think has certainly succeeded, because a lot of people are very anti-Blake Lively. It's really interesting watching this unfold, because this is where I do think there are parallels with the Amber Heard Johnny Depp scenario. It feels that there's a huge backlash, and there's a when someone's very anti-Blake Lively, I'm not saying everyone, because it's not everyone, but like with Amber Heard, there is a strong misogynistic quotient to those who are anti-Blake Lively. Let's just put it that way. But Justin Baldoni has brought a countersuit against the New York Times, and he's claiming that actually, fuck off, Blake Lively has been trying to smear him from the minute that he met with her and Ryan Reynolds to discuss issues with the film. He's brought a civil case against the New York Times for $250 million.
Her and her husband went, they're mid-filming.
No, they all went to Ryan Reynolds' and Blake Lively's place.
And they were mid-filming, and they said, right, we're not happy with the way that
Blake Lively had 30 demands, I forget what, of what would happen, scenes she wouldn't do, no more intimacy. She wanted a wardrobe brought to the house, certain things. She insisted on them, but it was so tense that apparently Ryan Reynolds lost his shit so much with Justin Baldoni that the Sony Pictures representative has said since they left, they'd never seen anyone talk to anyone else like that in a professional manner. So now that could speak to anything. That could speak to Ryan Reynolds knowing far more than any of us know.
We don't know. We don't know anything.
He accused Justin Baldoni of fat shaming Blake Lively, talking about body shapes and types of women on the set. So it's all become incredibly poisonous and incredibly contentious.
How much again is the suit?
He's suing the New York Times for $250 million. Now,
Mark was saying because he thinks whatever happens, his career is going to be kind of finished.
Well, the weird thing about this is I'm amazed they haven't got any publicists on this trying to say to both of them, kill it now.
Just stop.
Because I think the whole thing is going to create problems for both of them.
But we don't know what level she felt. Like you said, we just don't know. We don't. I mean, it's so difficult, isn't it?
So here we go. So look, I mean, and on both sides, there are many accusations. Nicky Ball puts a little bit more meat on the bones. He kept talking to her about his porn addiction. Him and the producer talked about their porn addiction, asking about her weight, talking to her about sexual stuff, walking into her dressing room while changing or breastfeeding. Now, all of those things, the weird thing is in a film where they're talking, there are many ways to see many of the accusations from the perspective of this is an intense conversation with crew and team. That's
why it's always so difficult to get a proper answer, because if you're acting, if your characters are involved in and I don't know the story, in a messy, domestic, sexually dysfunctional relationship, you're going to have to talk about that kind of stuff. I mean, for sure, you're going to have to. You're going to have to go to your own places, and you're going to have to
and his main...
And did they have a big sex scene as well?
Well, they didn't have, well, they had lots of intimate scenes. It
Yeah.
wasn't explicit. It was a mainstream show.
Imagine after you've had that row around your house.
I mean, there are lots of things in this that add sort of cumin and spice to it, because his argument was also that Blake Lively, went on a press push for the film to promote products, alcohol, perfumes, and his line on it was, this is actually a film about something more serious than that.
Oh, God.
And so, you know, he's suggesting that she's trying to limitate her own profile by throwing these accusations at him.
Almost suggesting that the sexual stuff she felt didn't go with her brand. And so
well, no, I think his feeling is that she wanted to underplay the domestic violence subject matter. That was an inconvenience to her business interests. And that was what took me to the film, because I was feeling that. I felt like, well, she seems to be promoting a rom-com. He weirdly, perversely, seems to be promoting a film about domestic violence.
Oh.
And I thought that was a weird spin around.
And this was where a lot of the hate, inverted commas, on TikTok was coming from, wasn't it? That people felt the book had been ruined, that it was a serious topic about domestic violence, and that she single-handedly almost had which to me didn't sound feasible, that she would accept a script and then want to completely change it. And so
also, I mean, that thing
just very odd.
Just last year,
Very
I had the
mucky.
experience of creating a new scene in something we were filming, which involved, I don't remember, the bath scene with an actor. You have to go through a real kind of protocol with their agents and with the contract to make sure that they're in agreement. This is the nature of the shoot.
Not when I was an actress.
No. But with this scene that we did, we
agreed.
agreed what the clothing situation would be, who would be in the set and in the room at the point we were filming, how long we would shoot
Oh
for.
my God! When I think how different that was when I was an actress.
Yeah, we couldn't just chuck a camera in and film Lily just getting into the. How was she going to get? Where was she going to get from to? I mean, this was all stuff that you kind of discover. How do you get? There are so many protocols,
and it's
so
right,
and they're
That's
right, and you can see how some of those might be. I mean,
So many
even the
actresses
highest
have been
budgeted
abused.
films. The weird thing about high budgeted films is even a high budgeted film can at times, to the creators, feel like it's under resourced. And so corners are always cut. You might have a giant budget, but on this shoot day, you're at fucking your wit's end. Get her on set, and so she might have been
somehow
rushed
I
in.
wonder whether they would do that with a big star.
Well, maybe she felt she wasn't looked after in the way that.
Well, obviously she has felt that.
But yeah. So
and obviously he feels very wounded by it. So we will be hearing a lot about it. That's why we thought we'd talk about it. I'm finding out about it really with you guys. Mark knows more about it. Yeah.
So there you go, guys. Vlogmas, wow, Helen Burke, you absolutely made my December.
Oh, well, as we say, there are going to be regular vlogs, like sort of week by week, because we can see how much you enjoy them.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I've been filming clearing up my room.
Oh my God. Anyway, guys,
Look forward to that one.
Have a lovely day. My worst films of the year is going to be landing later. Christopher Cundall's just gifted 50 memberships. That's so generous.
Happy New Year.
A Happy New Year present from Chris. You're such a
well, we'll
sweetie.
see you on Sunday then.
Such a supporter.
All the regular members and new members.
See you for a live show.
Very
on Sunday.
kind of you, Christopher. This Sunday we are going to be doing a live show. Curly Cooks is back. Saturday Papers is back. I'm actually on Loose Women tomorrow, but Mark's going to be doing the quiz because you can't miss the quiz.
And also top worst films of 2024, and also new films coming out this week. Nosferatu, We Live in Time. Reviews will be coming towards you for them too.
And so, just quickly, to finish on why we've changed our profile picture on Instagram, and if anybody else could do that as well, it would be amazing. It's simply because it's not getting enough press. The fact that Dr. Hussam Abu Safia has been taken hostage by the Israeli army, absolutely disgraceful. And there are hundreds and hundreds of doctors around the world doing their cards, free Abu Saif. These are no respect for doctors. You've got a doctor walking towards a tank because he has to go and get into a tank to be arrested. We had patients being brought out like half dressed in the freezing cold. It's very, very cold in Gaza at the moment. So we are trying to put pressure on so that at least even in prison, he's not too horrifically tortured. We just want to do whatever we can to keep his name out there. Check out our Instagram account. You can screenshot the photo.
Because don't get me wrong, it is a strategy of Western governments, the Israeli policy in Gaza specifically and the West Bank, that with the passage of time, people will forget, or with the passage of time, the intensity of pursuing so many. If you think of the so many individual cases that have come and gone, and individuals and children and families.
How many hospitals?
If you
remember
think
the first time a hospital was bombed?
of the kind of camps that have been here. When you start to, it's almost like by the sheer number, they kind of almost hope that people will lose the kind of capacity or the impetus to pursue and to focus on. I just hope that that's why we save so much to our stories. I hope most of the humanitarian agencies and international bodies that look into international maintenance of international law, I can only presume and hope that they're all monitoring all of this and keeping records, because it's almost like there are so many atrocities happening on such a regular basis that the Western media and the Western governments that support this, prop up this regime in Israel, just assume and hope that people lose impetus, lose interest.
You know what? I just want to give a moment to all those people that are in the Israeli army, because you have to go in 18, and there are many, many, many of them whose soul is not the kind of soul that can do what they're being asked to do. They've had a rise in suicides. This is out today, I think, amongst their army. Thousands of Israeli soldiers have ceased serving in combat roles due to mental distress. And my heart also goes out to those parents in Israel that have an 18-year-old that they know that's not their character to be doing this stuff. Yeah. And it must be heartbreaking, because if you don't go and fight, you go to jail. And it's as simple as that. So I do often think of that. I do often think of these poor young people. I can imagine my 18-year-old being taken off to be a part of this nightmare. So I feel very sorry.
Alison Barber makes a good point, though. There are brave youngsters who are refusing the draft. I mean, not many. Because
it is so awful. They're put into prison, then for 6 weeks, then they come out and they're asked again if they'll sign up, and they say no, and then they have to go back in again, and it goes on and on like that. So
it's a democracy. Remember that. It's a democracy.
They are brave souls, really. There's many, many brave souls that have been, forced into the army at 18 that do not want to be doing what they're doing. And a different kind of horror story for them.
And thank you. Someone just mentioned again there, Sky Elise has done a best of Vlogmas. Well, of course, once we get Dina back over, we'll be reacting to that. So thanks, Sky. Very kind of you.
Sky.
Thank you.
Sky.
Can't wait to watch back the horror of
because of
and
course,
joy
of course, often
house.
For me, Sky, what you do is the first time I'm seeing it.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Anyway, guys, have a lovely day. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.